And a good Friday afternoon. Sean Hammond here with you with another weather update video. We just want to keep you up to date on any kind of new information we get regarding any kind of the flooding and severe weather potential headed into the weekend. First off, still have that flood watch in effect. All those counties shaded in green. Matter of fact, all of Kentucky in that flood watch, and that will be in effect at least for our area through Saturday night into the early morning hours on Sunday. Like we talked about, big concern is the flooding threat. Yes, there is a severe threat involved this evening and tomorrow, but again, the big thing we are watching out for is the threat for flooding in some areas. There's a look at the severe weather outlook for today on this Friday. You can see all the areas still in that level 1 marginal risk in green, and then still have that level 2 slight risk across western Kentucky, basically from Paducah and points west. Again, this is going to be for storms that could become severe, main threat being damaging straight line winds. And again, nothing widespread, like we've talked about, not a widespread big time severe weather event. It's just a few storms could reach severe status, but again, the biggest thing that we are watching out for is the threat for flooding. And here is the severe weather outlook for tomorrow, Saturday. You can see some changes have been made. We have that marginal risk for much of Kentucky, including much of the Lake Cumberland area, but we do note, and I'll zoom in here a little bit tighter, we now have a level 2 slight risk that's been scooted a little further into south central Kentucky, and that kind of gets up into our neck of the woods. Now again, the same thing, we're watching out for the threat for damaging straight line winds. Storms could be a little bit more numerous on Saturday, but again, the greatest threat will be west of Bowling Green. There's actually a tornado threat, a small tornado threat to the west of Bowling Green. Main threat for our area is damaging winds, and again, the big thing we're watching out for, like I've said over and over again, is the threat for flash flooding. But again, I do have that severe weather threat for Saturday as well. This is suggested rainfall totals after all of this is said and done going into the early morning hours on Monday. This is coming off the high-resolution NAM model, and you can see some areas, we know at Albany, potentially over 4 inches of rainfall. Now, again, folks, remember, this is just a model output. You can't take these models to the bank, but, something we do have to keep a very close watch on. That's why the Weather Service has that flood watch out. Could get a couple of inches of rainfall. Some areas get these storms on top of them that kind of sit there and just dump rain for an extended period of time. That could shoot the rainfall totals up as well. But again, something we really have to watch out for is for that flooding threat. And of course, I know folks in Clinton County are really going to be watching it, in Cumberland as well. But again, this is just a model output. Don't take these numbers to the bank, but nonetheless, there is a flood watch in effect for a reason. All right, so let's go ahead and turn on the future radar. And again, this is a model. Don't take it to the bank. These models really struggle with some of these summertime thunderstorms. You can see as we go through tonight, not a whole lot happening. And then we start to see this complex of storms coming out of Missouri and Illinois just after midnight. And that will be making its way into our area. Now, again, don't take these times to the bank. The models were way off last night, but this is suggesting sometime after 1 a.m., storms coming into our part of the world. And then you can see just wave after wave of showers and storms. Get a little bit of a break mid-morning on Saturday, and then as we go into Saturday afternoon and evening, here comes more storms popping up across much of the area, and then those will move out of here. We'll go through Sunday. Again, the pop-up showers and thunderstorms coming in and around the Lake Cumberland area and much of Kentucky, and then those will move out of here as we go into the early morning hours on Monday. So again, like I said, just models. Don't take those times to the bank. Radar will not look exactly like that either. But again, we are watching out for the potential for wave after wave after wave of showers and storms, which could lead to that flooding potential. And again, some storms could reach severe status with damaging winds being the main threat. But again, our biggest concern is going to be the potential for flash flooding. So again, like I've been preaching to you the last few days, if you live in a flood-prone area, make sure that you are keeping a close watch on things. All right, that will do it for this update. Again, nothing really new to pass along, but of course, we'll be keeping a watch on everything. And if any watches or warnings end up coming out, we'll make sure and let you know about those as well.